visible, sir?
Yeah. So you present the solution to the rest of the students. Okay?
Okay, sir. Here they have given maximization method. So z equals to 5x1 plus 12x2 plus 4x3. Subjected to constraints, they have given two constraints. That is x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 less than or equal to 10. 2x minus x2 plus 3x3 equals to 8. So here we have solved in Biot method. So that's subjected to here there will be constraints x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 plus x4.
So first
And
of all, you have to tell why we should go for big M method.
uh, Biot method. So here we are having less than in further questions we are only having less than or equal to. So here we are having equal to and greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. So that we are using big M method.
So let us all be clear. So if the problem of the constraint, all the constraints of less than or equal type, we need not consider big M method. We can consider using simplex method. If any of the constraints is greater than or equal type, then we have to go for big M method. Okay. So here, second constraint is of equality type. For that reason, we have to go for big M method. Right, Tanuja?
Yes, sir.
Okay, proceed.
So in first constraint they have given less than or equal to. So we have to add slack variable. So that is x4. And for equal to we have to add artificial variable. So we are adding r1. So that maximization equals to z minus 5x1 minus 12x2 minus 4x3 plus mr1. After that we are modifying the formula. So here I'm not having PDF continuous so that they won't see questions there.
Okay. So, find ask if everybody is following.
Equals to minus 5, minus 12, 4, 0 and plus m. So if it is minimization means we have to do minus m. So here it is plus. R1 here the basic variables are x4 and r1 and non-basic variables are x1, x2, x3. They are non-basic variables. So x4 equals to 1, 2, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 10. So the first constraint. And R1 equals to second constraint. So we have to do modification for Z row. So old row they have given minus 5, minus 12, minus 4, 0, plus and 0. So we have to do for maximization problem we have to do minus m into row R2. So here minus 2m. Hello.
Ah, proceed.
Hmm.
The remaining students can follow her, or if you have any doubts, you can ask.
So if artificial variable present means we have to do that one minus m into r2m means row 2 minus 2m plus m minus 3m 0 minus 1m minus 8m. So for new row we have to add these two rows old row plus m into r2.
So, can you go to the next page?
Yes, apply simplex procedure. So
Oh,
after modifying this we are having we have modified z row. So after that x4 is same and r1 is same. So here we
Okay.
are having maximum Negative value.
తనుజ
Hmm?
పేజ్ ఫస్ట్ పేజ్ విజిబుల్ అవుతుంది.
అవునా? ఇప్పుడు
లేదు.
hello.
ఓకే ఓకే.
Here we have, this is maximization problem, no? So here we have taken maximum negative value. So here the maximum negative value is -5 -2m. So and this we have to take ratio minimum. So here 8/2, that is 4. So that we have taken this one. After that we all know Gauss-Jordan transformation. So we have to do that one. So here new pivot row means 2 minus 1. So here R1 is the new pivot row. So we have to do new pivot by dividing R1 by 2. So we have gotten these values. Then Z row is -5 -2m. So old row of Z row is this one and a new row. After that pivot row means new into Z row, that variable, that -5 -2m. So we have gotten this one. Anybody having any doubt? Hello?
No doubt.
Here and iteration 2 we have gotten -29 minus by 2. This is the maximum negative value. And here x4 we have gotten minimum ratio. So we have taken this one. And after Gauss-Jordan we have gotten iteration 3, we up to we have to do positive values. So here basis variables are x2. Here x2 equals to 12/5, x1 equals to 26/5, and x3 is 0, x4 is 0, R1 is 0. Sir, completed.
Tanuja, I got fundamental query. So go to the first page.
Yes, sir.
This one, right?
Yes, sir.
So after introducing the artificial variable, you have written you have to write maximize 5x1 plus what is it, 12x2,
Yes, sir.
12x2 plus 4x3. And how do you penalize for introducing the artificial variable?
Sir, for minimization we have taken minus. So I think that the maximization will be plus. And
No. For
Maximum.
minimization,
Sir,
in the first problem, what did we do? Minimization means plus big M. So here maximization
sir,
means
here I have taken Z minus, sir. I have taken Z equals to naught, sir.
in the Z equals to 5x1 plus 12x2 plus 4x3, we have to write minus MR1.
Okay, sir.
So if you write it as equation, it will become Z minus, okay,
Yes, sir.
minus 5x1 plus 12x2 plus 4x3 plus
Sir, here.
yeah, okay, you have written it well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, they originally you have written minus, when it become, when you have written it as equation, it will become plus. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, you are right.
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
Okay, what is the solution?
Sir, x1 equals to 26/5 and x1 equals to 26/5, x2 equals to 12/5, and x3 x4 R1 is 0.
X3
X4
uh,
R1.
we will have x3 and we will have we don't have x4. we'll have only R1. Have you introduced X4 also? Sorry.
Slack variable is there now, sir, for first.
Okay.
Yes,
So X3 is 0, X4 is
X4 is 0.
and R1 is also 0.
0. Yes, sir.
So can you, all of you can do, all of you can take this solution as granted, and you put the solution or the values of x1, x2 and x3 in the constraints and check whether they are satisfied. All of you do. Go to the first page. Okay, so x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 should be less than or equal to 0.
10, sir.
Here, less than or equal to 10. In this, put the x1 value, x2 value and x3 value. x3 is 0, x1?
1.
x1 is 1.
Sir, here. Yes, sir, X3. Sir, what, sir? You are asking answer or what's the coefficients of these? Sir?
No. What is the final solution? In the final solution, what is the x1 value?
X1 value, sir, 26 by 5, sir.
x2?
X2, 12 by 5, sir.
Okay, x3?
0, sir.
Okay, x4? 0.
0, sir. Yes, sir.
Automatically R1 will be 0. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you x1 is 26 by 5 and
Yes, sir.
plus 2 into this x2 is 12 by
12
5.
by 5. 12. Yes, sir.
X3 is equal to 0. So do you get, what do you get?
Sir,
26
sir.
by 5 plus 2 into 12 by 5.
only, sir.
Do we get 12? 10?
10, sir. 10, sir.
Okay, it is satisfied. So substitute substitute in the second constraint. So 2 into 26 by 5 minus 12 by 5.
8 only, sir.
Okay,
8,
we
sir.
got 8. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
the solution is absolutely correct. Okay. So Harika, is it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. The remaining students can solve on their own, and if they are going to get any doubts, probably they can take help from either Tanuja or Harika, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So we now move on to the next topic. That is sensitivity analysis and dual primal relationship. Okay, so I will be sharing the file. Okay. Okay, so we'll be covering two topics now. The first topic is sensitivity analysis. We will be knowing about it briefly, and later on we will be taking up one or two problems on it, and thus we will be discussing the second topic of duality. Okay, so can somebody read the meaning for sensitivity analysis? Anybody can do it. Anyhow, I will be sharing this file with you all. Somebody can read the content under sensitivity analysis. Srinivas,
Sir.
you can read.
Sir, can I, sir?
Uh,
Sensitivity analysis. It is a
Hmm.
process in which the effects of changes in the formulation are studied The solution is a reflection of parameters in the constraints and the objective function. The change in these parameters will have an effect on the solution.
Very good, very good. So in the latest problem, so how many constraints do we have?
2, sir.
We have 2 constraints. How many variables are there?
2, sir.
3, sir.
3 variables, x1,
Okay,
x2,
sir,
x3. Okay. So for the first constraint, the left hand side is 10. Am I right? Less than or equal to 10. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Right hand side.
For the second constraint, the right hand side is 8.
Yes, sir. Equal to 8.
8. Okay. For this formulation, so we have different parameters. The parameters are right hand side values of the constraints, the coefficients of variables in the constraints, and the coefficients of variables in the objective function. Am I right? So I repeat, in the problem formulation, there are certain parameters. The parameters are right hand side values of the constraints, the coefficients of the variables in the constraints, and the coefficients of variables in the objective function. Okay. So for this particular formulation or for this setup, we have the solution. Solution is x1 is equal to 26 by 5. Am I right?
Yes,
X2
sir.
is,
X1.
x2 is equal to 12 by 5.
Yes, sir.
And x3 is equal to 0. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So imagine that the right hand side values of the constraints are resources. Let us imagine that 10 becomes 20 and 8 becomes 16. So the resources have been doubled. So can the same solution be valid, or can there be change in the solution? So certainly there will be change in the solution. Okay. So if we want to study the change in the solution for the changes in the parameters of the formulation, so we adopt the concept of sensitivity analysis. Okay. So for the original formulation, we have the solution. If the parameters of the problem are change, the solution will also get changed. So the study of the change in the solution for the changes in the parameters of the problem is called as sensitivity analysis. Is everything clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can also ask the questions. Okay. Now let us consider the very first problem. What is the very first problem? What is the very first problem? Vishwanath. What is the very first problem, Vishwanath?
Problems.
We took up in the beginning one simple problem. What is it?
Crop allocation.
Crop allocation problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So for the crop allocation problem, there were two resources, land resource and money resource. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So the resources were shown on the right hand side. So we had, if I remember well, we had a resource of 300 rupees for to grow the crops. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
We can verify. So the money available was 300. Let us say the money availability is changed. Let us say it has become 400. So we have to find out the change in the solution. So the same solution will not be holding good. So we have to find out new solution. So instead of solving the problem again completely from the beginning, so we can find out a way by which we can predict the changes in the solution for the changes in the parameters of the problem. So that concept is called as sensitivity analysis. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So now we move to the next topic, uh, primal and dual relationship, or the topic is also called as duality. So what duality means? Having two forms, right? So a problem can be present in its original form, then it is called as primal problem or primal formulation. So according to certain guidelines, that problem can be converted into another form, then it is called as dual problem. So if you have a problem, it can be converted into dual, and instead of solving the primal problem, you can solve the dual problem. If you know the solution for dual problem, you can automatically find the solution for primal problem. Okay, so this is a kind of uh, concept which will be advantageous for us to convert the primal into dual and solve the problem. Okay, so we'll be seeing the advantages as we proceed further. So right now we have to know how the primal problem can be converted into the dual problem. It is very simple. Okay, and just follow the guidelines uh, by which we can convert the dual from primal. So later on, we can understand these points when we take up simple problems. Okay, so I can ask Praveen to read the first 5 points. Praveen,
Yes, sir.
yeah. First, read the primal and dual.
Yeah, sir,
Hmm.
you
I
told me to read the first 5 points in a day. Oh, okay, sir.
no, no, okay. Above it, there is a definition for primal and dual. You read from there.
Primal and dual. Primal problem or primal formulation is the original problem.
Okay.
Dual or
Hmm.
dual problem or dual formulation is a formulation derived systematically for primal.
Okay, so right. So all of you try to understand. If you get any doubts, you can ask immediately. Next.
Derivation of dual from primal. The optimum solution of one gives the solution of the other. A dual variable is defined for each primal constraint equation. A dual constraint is defined for each primal variable. The constraint coefficients of primal became left-hand sides of dual constraints. The right-hand sides of primal constraints became coefficient in objective function.
Objective function. Okay, so let us leave it there. Let us understand one by one. So the first one says the optimal solution of one gives the solution of the other. The meaning is that let us say we have found the dual problem from the primal problem. That means we have two forms of the problem. So instead of solving the primal problem, we can solve the dual problem. The solution of the dual problem will give the solution for the primal problem automatically. Okay, that is the meaning. Second one, a dual variable is defined for each primal constraint equation. The meaning is that if there are two constraints in the primal problem, there will be two dual variables. Understand? So a dual variable is the variable which is present in the dual formulation. Okay, so if there are four constraints in the primal problem, there will be four dual variables, right? Next one, a dual constraint is defined for each primal variable. So in the dual problem, there will be dual variables and there will be dual constraint also. Okay, so in the primal problem, for each primal variable, there will be a dual constraint. Okay. Fourth one, the constraint coefficients of the primal become left hand side of the dual constraint. So this can be understood if we take an example. We'll come to it. Next, the right hand sides of the primal constraints become coefficients of the coefficients in objective function in the dual. In the dual is missing here. We had to write in the dual. Okay. So now can I ask Raghava to read the remaining 5? Raghava. Yeah. Okay. So what is the meaning of it? Ah. Oh, very good, very good. Next. Very good, very good. Next. Okay. So if the dual problem is maximization problem, all the constraints in the dual problem will be less than or equal type. Next. If the dual is minimization, See, if it is minimization, constraints will be greater than or equal. If the dual is maximization, constraints will be less than or equal to. Okay. Next. Hmm. 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 Okay. Okay. So primal. Okay. So you have to understand 10th point and 11th point carefully. So let us say you have found dual from the primal. Again, if you convert, again, if you try to find the dual for the dual, it becomes primal. Is it clear? So 10th point is very important. Automatically, all the dual variables are unrestricted in sign. They are not automatically greater than or equal type. Generally, in the primal problem, the variables are greater than or equal type. Okay. So now this is the original. Just by this example, we can understand how the primal problem can be converted into dual problem. Okay. So original problem is maximum. All of you follow me. Maximize z is equal to 2x1 plus x2. S2 means subject to 3x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal 300. X1 plus less than plus 2 plus x2 less than or equal to 300. X1 and x2 should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay. All of you follow me. How many variables are there?
Two, sir.
Two variables. Okay. How many constraints are there?
Two, sir.
Two constraints. Okay. So x1 is greater than or equal to 0. X2 is equal to greater than or equal to 0. They are called as non-negativity variables. So they can't be negative. Okay. So what is this problem? What is this problem? This is the first problem. First problem. Crop allocation problem. Do you remember? Okay. So we can write it as primal problem by incorporating the slack variables. So here you can see we have introduced the slack variable in the first constraint and slack variable in the second constraint. Now we say that x1, x2, x3, x4 should be greater than or equal to 0. N now number of variables is equal to 4, number of constraints 2. So originally the number of variables are 2. After adding the slack variables, the number of variables are 4 and the number of constraints are 2. Right? Now we can get the dual form like this. So a dual variable is defined for each primal constraint equation. For the first one, y1 is the dual variable. For the second one, y2 is the dual variable, right? Okay. Next, a dual constraint is defined for each primal variable. How many primal variables are there? X1, x2, x3, x4 are primal variable, right? So for x1, we have to define the dual constraint, right? For x1, what is the coefficient in the objective function? 2. Okay. So we have to write uh, follow me. First of all, primal problem is maximization, dual problem will be minimization. You have to accept it. So after knowing y1 and y2 as the dual variables, we have to write dual constant for x1. So the coefficient of x1 is 2. So on the right hand side we will get 2. Left hand side 3 y1 for x1 coefficient is 1 y2. It should be greater than 2. Similarly for x2 we have to write right hand side greater than 1 because coefficient here is 1. So we have to write 2y1 1y2 should be greater than or equal to 1. Now for x3 you can write here right hand side automatically we can write it as plus 0x3 plus 0x4. I have not written here. So here if you take y1 plus 0y2 should be greater than or equal to 0, then automatically it will become y1 is equal to greater than or equal to 0. Similarly, there is no x4 here. 0y1 plus 1y2 should be greater than or equal to 0. That means y2 should be greater than or equal to 0, right? So finally in this formulation n is equal to 2, m is equal number of constraints is equal to 4. That means including y1 is equal to 0, y1 should be greater than or equal to 0, y2 is greater than or equal to 0. So how can we, now we have to see how we can write the objective function. You can write like this. The right hand side of the primal constants become coefficients of the objective function in the dual. What are the right hand sides of the primal constants? 300, 200. So they become the coefficients in the objective function. Okay. So 300 by 1 plus 200 by 1. So maximization become minimum, and this is how we got the dual formulation for the primal formulation. So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Avila,
Yes, sir.
Srinivas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Shivaji, is it clear? Shivaji. So now you can find the when the original problem is given, you can write it in the primal as primal problem. Actually, original problem is automatically primal. Only thing is we will be adding slack variables or surplus variables, and then we can find out the dual problem, dual formulation. So can you try?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all of you find out the dual formulation for this one. Take 3 minutes time. Shiva, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Ah, so see that I mean, are all connected?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So all of you please find out the dual formulation. First write the primal formulation by incorporating slack or surplus variables. If it is equal type, you need not add the artificial variable. Only you have to add surplus or slack variable. That's all. Anybody can hint after completing the problem. I hope you could find the dual formulation easily. Am I right? So could you find easily?
Sir.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Check the solution. So the solution is this one. All of you cross check. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
So I expect response from all. Have you got the same solution? Same dual formulation.
ఒకవేళ ఈక్వాలిటీ ఉంటే ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ తీసుకోమా సార్?
అవసరం లేదు.
ఓకే సార్.
Yes.
So you can also have discussion among yourselves. You can also get your queries clarified from your friends. Okay, feel free to interact among yourselves. Has everybody got the dual formulation correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what you have to pay attention to is this one. Y1 has become greater than or equal to 0, but y2 is unrestricted in sign. You have to be careful about this one. So the meaning is that automatically they will be, the dual variables will be unrestricted in sign unless otherwise it becomes greater than or equal to 0. So in what way can we justify this one? Vishwanath, have you got any idea? Have you got the same way?
Still time. Calculating.
You are calculating.
Yes, sir. I did not complete.
Okay, you can talk to your friends. Okay,
Okay.
feel free.
Okay.
So, has anybody found the dual formulation exactly the same way? Who has found the dual formulation exactly the same way? Avila,
Sir.
could you find the solution
No,
exactly?
Sir. No, sir.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, you have to follow those guidelines which we discussed. So, 11 guidelines are there. Okay. So, you have to follow these 11 guidelines while you convert the dual into primal into dual.
Okay, sir.
So, what can be the check? Check means if you convert the dual of dual, you should get the primal. Okay. So you can also cross check that way. Shivaji,
Sir.
have you got the formulation in the same way?
Yes, sir. But y2 is unrestricted అన్నదే అర్థం కాలేదు సార్ కొంచెం అది.
Y2 automatically Y1 and Y2 are unrestricted. But Y1 is greater than or equal to 0 because so here you got X4, right?
Yes, sir.
So 1 into Y1, right? Plus
Yes, sir.
0 into Y2 should be greater than or equal to 0. Here there is no X4. We have to write plus 0 X4.
Yes, sir.
So that way Y1 will become greater than or equal to 0.
Okay.
Otherwise Y1 is also unrestricted.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that way you have to understand. Have you got the remaining constraints this way?
Yes, sir.
And objective function?
Yes, sir. 10 by 1 plus 8 by 2.
Okay.
Sir?
Okay.
ఇన్ దిస్ ప్రాబ్లం అంటే హౌ మెనీ కన్స్టెంట్స్ అంటే ఏమని చెప్తాం సార్?
Now constraints are 4. This 1, 2, 3 and 4.
ఓకే సార్. అంటే
Okay.
y2 నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేసేయడమే సార్ ఇంకా?
y2 అనేది it is unrestricted inside. It can be positive or negative, but y1 should be greater than or equal to 0. That is the meaning.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay. So now let us understand the advantage of a dual problem. So before that, Shivaji and Shivaji
Sir,
and Tanuj, who has answered just now? Tanuja or Harika? Or Avila?
సార్ సార్.
Okay, Tanuja, see that everybody has got the same formulation. Just you can inquire with all. Feel free to clarify the doubts. Then we'll discuss the advantage.
okay, sir.
అందరూ ఫ్రీగా మాట్లాడుకోండి. You are not able to find the dual formulation exactly, don't worry, you can do it later. You can thoroughly understand it later, right? Now let us find out the advantage of converting the primal problem into dual problem. So in the primal problem, how many variables are there? In the original problem, somebody can respond.
3 sir.
3 variables. So
3, sir.
okay, how can we find the solution for this problem? Can we find by graphical method?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can we find the solution by graphical method if the variables are more than 3, more than 2?
No, sir. More than 2 variables, we did not find a graphical method, sir.
Okay. So we can't find the solution by graphical method, and finding solution by graphical method is an easy way to some extent. Okay. So we have to find the solution by big M method because there is equality constraint, right? And you know, big M method is a cumbersome process to some extent. We can't use simplex procedure to find out the solution. Now, if you come to dual formulation, how many variables are there?
2 variables, sir.
2 variables, y1, y2 are the 2 variables. Because there are 2 variables, you can easily find the solution by graphical method.
Yes, sir.
So if you, after finding out the solution, you can find out you can convert that solution into the solution of the primal easily. Okay. So
Okay,
the first point says the optimal solution of one gives the solution of the other. So if you know the solution of the dual problem, you can find out the solution of the primal problem. Okay, so that way we can find many advantages, right? So now
Sir, ఇప్పుడు మనకి యాక్చువల్ గా 2 కన్స్ట్రైంట్స్ వచ్చినాయి కాబట్టి ప్రైమల్ లో మనం కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకున్నాము డ్యూయల్ లోకి. కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు మనకి 2 వేరియబుల్స్ వచ్చినాయి.
అవును, ఎక్కువ
ఒకవేళ 3 కన్స్ట్రైంట్స్ ఉంటే ప్రైమల్
డ్యూయల్ వేరియబుల్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి. అది పాసిబుల్ కాదు.
ఓకే
ఓకే, అది ఇది ఈ ఒక స్పెసిఫిక్ కేసులోనే నేను చెప్తున్నా అడ్వాంటేజ్.
ఓకే
ఓకే
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే, సో you can understand the procedure by following the guidelines and by following the examples. Okay, or you can refer to the textbook and you can understand the procedure. Okay, now I advise you to convert the remaining 3 problems into the dual problems, and you can cross check the solutions given already here. Okay, so can you find out the dual formulations for the 3 problems, or do you want to do it in our free time? It is left to you. If you want to do now itself, you can do, or you can do it in your rooms. It is left to you.
In free time.
Okay. Right. So I'll be sharing this file with you all, right? But don't copy the solution or the dual formulation. Try to do on your own, and you can cross check with the solution given here, right?
Okay sir.
Okay, Shivaji.
Okay sir.
Okay, so in the next class, you will be asked to give the explanation for getting the dual formulation. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
any one of you can be asked to present the conversion, right? So after spending some time on duality, so we'll be starting the dynamic programming, right?
Okay
so,
sir.
And dynamic programming is a very interesting topic. We'll be starting it in the next class. Okay.
Okay sir.
Okay, so thank you all.
Sir,
Check.
and that second unit basic definition, sir.
Basic
Basic definitions.
basic definitions of
I mean అంటే మనకి మామూలు
okay. So